Hello, I'm Sascha Aurora, the Urdu Spotlight judge this year for the Stephen Spender Prize 2021. And I'm very excited to be here with our 18 and under winner and commendee. We have Sarah Jilani and Iona Mandal, and we're going to be asking them a few questions about their process. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. So I'll begin with you, Sarah. So who or what led you to try to translate from Urdu initially? And can you tell us a little bit about the journey and what part, others may have played?
Okay. So initially I found the competition just when I was looking around for competitions online because I'm gonna apply for English Lit this year, hopefully. So that's when I came across it. And then I saw that the Spotlight Prize was for Urdu and I was like, wow, that's really cool. I should try for it. So that's kind of like where I found it from initially. But I think with Urdu, it's had quite a big influence on my life because even though I grew up in England mostly, my parents they try to keep Urdu in our lives a lot. I did an Urdu GCSE outside of school, and my dad, he writes Urdu poetry, so it was quite a big thing. So yeah, so I've had a lot of Urdu around me, even though I grew up in England. Yeah,
that's amazing. That's a lovely, I really like hearing that story because, you're the kind of person that I was hoping to find whose family, gave Urdu importance because as you know, it's quite difficult in this society and community, for South Asians to connect to their heritage and culture. So that's really amazing. And was this the first time you translated from Urdu?
yeah, it was. So it was quite a new experience, but it was fun.
Wow, well done. So, what made you choose these particular poems?
Okay, so I think Ball I recognized from beforehand. I think I've heard it before. So and I quite like the poem anyways because it's quite a powerful poem. It's really nice. And then I came across Waft for the first time, as I was reading through. But I don't know. I just really liked it. It was a very beautiful poem. I really enjoyed reading it. So I wanted to try translating it, I guess.
So it spoke to you,
Yeah.
perhaps, and you're able to read in the original Urdu.
Yeah, and mostly there are a couple of words I don't understand, like some of the more advanced words, but I
Yeah,
got help with that.
cool. From whom?
From my family. So while I was translating it, I was actually in India. So my dad was that he was there with us, and then I was with my grandparents' family. So my uncle was there as well, so they were all helpful.
Oh, I love that. That's a real family effort. Awesome. Please, can you tell them all from me that they did very well, and I'm really pleased. Um, can you just tell us now, as the last question, is just a little bit about your sort of process? Just, what did you make a mechanical translation first? Just a little bit. And keep in mind that this may inspire other young people like yourself for future translation prizes.
Yeah. So first of all, I kind of, like I said, I kind of looked through the poems and picked the ones that I really like. And then I went through and I kind of did a loose translation, I guess, leaving out some of the bits that I wasn't completely sure on and not focusing too much on the precise wording of things because that can be quite tricky. So I had a loose translation and then I went back over it and kind of fine-tuned the words and the meanings so they matched up because obviously some of it the literal meaning wouldn't make sense in English and things like that. So you had to go back and check it and then just kind of rereading through to check where it flowed and where it sounded a bit strange and where it made sense and things. So just kind of going back over it and re-editing it to make sure you've kind of got what the Urdu poem is trying to say in your English translation. But yeah, that was how I did it.
Well, you did a really good job, and that's why you're here. There was musicality. It was all very clean. It was very well thought out. So congratulations. And we look forward to, seeing you for the prize ceremony. And well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to move on now to our lovely commendee. Hi again.
Hi.
So you've heard Sarah's story too, so that must be interesting for you as well. Can you tell us a bit, or what led you to try to translate from Urdu initially, and this journey, and what part others may have played?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, my story is quite different from Sarah's after hearing hers. I'm not originally Pakistani and I don't speak Urdu. I'm actually Indian and I speak Bengali at home. I'm fluent in Bengali. But my main intention with entering the competition for the Urdu Spotlight was to kind of broaden my horizons. Since I've already entered the Stephen Spender Prize twice. I was commended in 2019 for a Bangla poem I translated, and the winner this year for a Bangla poem too. Um, so I have experimented with Bangla before. But when I saw that the spotlight was on Urdu this year, um, I felt like it was more in my comfort zone than other languages previously, such as Polish, etc. And since I'm South Asian, I almost felt like it was part of my responsibility to kind of promote South Asian voices and South Asian languages, even though I don't actually speak Urdu. Obviously, it was harder since I don't speak the language, but because I kind of understand Hindi a little bit and they're both sort of similar, I watch a lot of Bollywood movies in which Hindi and Urdu are sometimes spoken too. But since I also have Pakistani friends and my mum has Pakistani colleagues at work, it was kind of a team effort. So yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing story. Uh, I just think that the Stephen Spender Prize is actually, for people like what you're saying who want to challenge themselves. It sounds like you've really built a career already in translation. I'm really quite gobsmacked. It's incredible, and that challenging yourself, that is so cool. And this sort of sense of responsibility, I think that that is so lovely, that conscience. I mean, that's why I'm here. That's why I did this as well. Um, that's a great answer. Thank you for that. So why do you think that a prize like this, giving Urdu spotlight, might be important in the UK?
Well, first of all, the UK has a massive Pakistani and Urdu speaking population. As far as I know, I think it's the fourth most spoken language here in the UK. And since we live in such a cosmopolitan and multicultural society here, I feel that it's important to push those lesser heard voices. Um, and being Indian myself, and India and Pakistan being neighboring countries, I felt like it would be a good idea for me to translate an Urdu poem because it kind of breaks the existing barriers between those two countries, especially since they were one country before the partition. And I don't think that we should allow our languages to dissipate and separate from each other, and rather we should use language and culture as strong building blocks to bridge together cultures, societies, and people as a whole.
Well, I think that's also very well put. And I feel quite confident knowing that there's somebody like you and Sarah, out there. Because I feel the same way, Hindi and Urdu are so, they basically, were one, they're like very similar. They're one language,
Mm-hmm.
really. And so I agree with you on that. So can you tell us a little bit about why you chose the poems you chose and your process? And keep in mind, that this could help young people like yourself.
Both of my poems were actually quite short, and well, one was a lot shorter than the other, but they were both incredibly poignant and had a kind of, they had the effect where after you read it, you felt like letting out a sigh. And that's something that I admired in both of them. It's just the physical kind of impact it had on me afterwards too. Like it was in my mind for many days after reading it. And as for the process, since I can't read Urdu, I did use an online dictionary sort of translator called Rekta, which was recommended. And so by using that, I was able to, pick out each word, what it means. And since I do have a rough understanding of Hindi, that really helped because the two are so closely connected. But in doing this translation exercise, as I said, it really stretched the horizons for me because in finding Rikta, it's something that I have subscribed to now. So I get like words of the day and even ghazals sent to me. And yeah, it really broadened my vision, and it inspired me to keep on translating in other languages in the future, perhaps.
You see, Rekta is actually how I got involved or got the confidence to translate from Urdu, which is why, we partnered with them, and I wanted all of anyone who was. So I'm so glad to hear of your experience with Rekta. And also, well done. If you can't read the script, so well done for persevering.
Thank you.
Yeah, I totally get that. I also wanted to say that I was very taken by the poems that you chose. I mean, same with the Sarah Speak is also one of my, they're all my favorites. Obviously, I made the spotlight, but I was, you were the only one who chose the Nahid Rana, the wall. And I was really pleased that you did, because it's quite a subtle poem, and it has all these undertones, and you need to sort of understand the subtlety of its meaning. So, and Sarah Shagufta I have translated in the past. Maybe I can send you some of the translations. She was quite a tragic figure, as I don't know if you may have found out, and I think I was one of the first people to translate her work, and then in the last 5 years there's been a lot of interest in her, and I think there's a book coming out or whatever. So well done, and congratulations for everything. There's so much, and I hope that you will return to the Stephen Spender Prize again and again. So I'm going to just go back to Sarah for one second. So what's next as a translator? This is your surprise question.
I'm not quite sure. I guess I want to carry on reading Urdu poetry. I'm like trying to see how much of it I can understand, because it was quite difficult, like on my own, because a lot of the more complex vocabulary you have to kind of like figure out for yourself. But I think it was a fun experience, so I'd like to keep going with it.
Well, I would really like to encourage you to do so. You've done so well, and you have people around you who can help you. So, you could be doing this. And if you'd like any guidance or I know there's loads of resources out there, but maybe I can send you some other poems if you'd like to read them.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The prize question for you too, Iona. What's next for you?
Well, similar to Sarah, I would really love to keep on translating, not just in the languages I'm familiar with, but because at school I also do GCSE French and Spanish. I really love languages in general, and so I'd like to keep translating, keep getting involved with the Stephen Spender Prize. And since I already translate Bangla poetry, I'm currently working on a project with a Bengali writer from Kolkata in India, and I'm translating some of her Bangla poems into English, and she's doing the same vice versa. And so we're hoping to maybe publish it, but we're not sure how far in the future that's gonna take. But it is a future aspiration, and so translating is definitely on my to-do list.
Brilliant. Self-starting, That's just amazing. And I can tell you, I have every confidence that you would publish that. Um, there's there is interest, and I'm sure that it would work out. So well done, both of you, and we'll see you at the prize. Thank you so much for giving us this time. I hope it was good for you as well, to sort of meet in this way and have a chat.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. It was really nice.
Thank you. Thank you both.